Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Give me a quick voice check, guys, while I set up everything. And happy Monday to all of you. Stanton, my man. Let's wait for folk to get here. All right, what are some of the things that you guys want to talk about? How's it going, Wolvie? Moody Mav. Alrighty. I'm about to begin. I just gotta make sure my mic is. Can you guys hear me? Seems like you guys can hear me, right? I can't see the chat, so I gotta. Smash the likes, guys. Smash the likes. All right, awesome. Seems like you guys can hear me. Okay, Ben's speaker was muted. We're gonna wait for some likes to be smashed before we begin. If so one of you could help with the timestamps today, Avi, if you're watching, because we do have a few things to cover. And since it is the beginning of the week, I don't want you guys hunting around. Yeah, we're going to be talking about SUI. We will be talking about SUI. And good morning. My name is Sean Jackson. Welcome you guys back to the Mango Way, where we keep it easy, we keep it stress-free, and we keep it profitable. As you guys can see, we have our man over here, Raul, holding up a goddamn banana. If you guys are wondering what the hell is going on, I posted a SUI video. I think it was Friday, Saturday, I'm not sure. Somewhere near close to the weekend, and we talked about triggers, etc. And someone PM'd me right after that saying, "Hey, Sean, Raul Paul says things are about to go bananas. Is that true?" And I'm like, "What?" So apparently, there's a banana meme on Raul saying that I looked it up. I typed Raul banana. I'm like, what is this new thesis, Raul's thesis of things going bananas? Not that I disagree. But I think he's plagiarizing my entire fruit theme that I've going on over here. You know, he's going to be renaming Real Vision to Banana Vision, and he's stealing that idea from me. So 2.5 trillion to 10 trillion. I find this on on YouTube. I'm not sure whether he's talking about SUI or Solana or Ethereum, or is it Bitcoin? It's most likely Bitcoin. Or is he talking about the market cap? Who the hell knows? All we know, I mean, I haven't looked into it yet. I will right after the stream. Is Raul has been shilling SUI apparently, and I had no idea. But look at that. Do you guys need anything but the charts? How did we find it? How did we find SUI? Let me. I posted a trade thesis, right? Over the weekend. I'm like, hey, SUI triggered one of our key signals. Somewhere around here, we were sitting around 80 cents, I think, at the time. Yeah, 80 cents, right? And it's just been going since then. You don't need to follow fundamentals. You guys don't need to follow things like unlocks, because one of the guys left a comment saying, hey, Sean, should we worry about the unlocks? I'm like, nah, just worry about price, right? Worry about price. We'll talk about all that. And apparently Raul's been talking about that too. Look at that. The charts tell the story, right? Going back to why I have Raul's picture over here, I do want to say this. I do want to say one thing. Okay, I've been noticing that when Raul starts shilling something, he has the kind of influence to get all of his macro wannabe crypto buddies to buy that particular asset. Okay, now there's a time to counter trend and counter trade these guys, and there's a time to just bandwagon onto it, right? And I can tell you from the past, when I used to watch Real Vision back when it used to be more for me, the content used to be more for me back in 2019. And that was when he started, he was talking about Bitcoin a lot. And then he pivoted to talking about Ethereum. And we all know what happened with all the macro guys in regards to Ethereum. They all started buying Ethereum. They're like, Ethereum's better than Bitcoin. Ethereum's better than Bitcoin. And then he pivoted to Sol. And then we saw what happened to Sol. And now apparently he's pivoting to SUI. So we don't know if it's going to play out this way or not. But what matters to us is price, right? As long as price is triggering our indicators and we have these narratives with us, why the F not? Let things go bananas. Why not? I'll take it, Raul. I will take it. Attaboy. But yeah, we were supposed to talk about Bitcoin. We started talking about Raul's bananas. I mean, yeah. The banana man here. We'll come back to Bitcoin very, very soon. I do want to make a couple of announcements on the dashboard, app.mangoresearch.co. You guys can find it. It looks beautiful. You can see I have SUI over here. But yeah, this is the dashboard. For those of you who don't know what it is, it actually even gave us the call on SUI ahead of time, even before the dynamic. The 12-hour flip long 3.5 days ago, and you're up 22%. So the dashboard, I'm trying to talk about SUI again, even though I'm excited about it, is upgraded, right? There's a new update to it where we have added a new exchange. There's MEXC coins now added to the dashboard, so you have available to you all the coins that are available on MEXC, provided that they do have enough price data, okay? Because this is the trend trading dashboard, right? If you don't have enough price data, there's no trend to be had. So the reason we did this is because meme coins have had most of the best opportunities. They've also had the best charts and the best volume, like liquidity to actually trade, compared to a lot of these goddamn shit coins that are extremely difficult to get in and get out because there's no liquidity on the order books. Meme coins though, great liquidity. But in case you guys do not want to be trading it on MEXC, and there's some coins that are not on MEXC, right? Kusha has a Solana video tutorial up for you guys to trade directly on chain, right? It's a series of 3 videos, I believe, 3 videos. I watched 2 of them, and there's really great reviews already so far. It's on YouTube, so it's free content. Go ahead and take advantage of it. It's free educational content. Take advantage of it, you lazy bums. I had none of this. Okay, I had none of this. I didn't have Kusha with a beautiful voice and a great clarity explaining shit to me. I had to do it the hard way. You guys have it on a platter, okay? So, Isaac saying, so clear, so easy to follow. Thank you, Kusha. Sherwin too, saying, hey, just went through blah, 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 blah. Great stuff. So yeah, go ahead and check that content out. And Kusha's also working on Sprouts content, new Sprouts content. For those of you who don't know what I mean by Sprouts, you guys can go ahead and check it out at themangoway.com/sprouts. So, yeah. With that, we can go ahead and begin the banana analysis. Any thoughts before I begin? Any questions? Yeah, Rahul is Rahul copying Mango, man. I don't blame him. I'd copy Mango too. It's not me, it's Krisha. He's copying Krisha. All right, I actually did not want to do a stream today. I'm not in, I don't have the energy to do the stream today, but I realized that I need to do a stream today because I need to give you guys guidance at this crucial juncture, because it is a confusing juncture for a lot of folk, right? And it's these points where you really need to have your mind straight and how you execute based on your mindset, okay? And there's no easy answer here. There's no right answer either over here. So we'll be talking about the weekly, the bi-weekly, the 4-day, and something specific on the macro high time frames that I did notice recently, and I want to bring up to your attention. It's going to be really cool to keep an eye on this, especially with us having a important closure coming up very soon on the higher time frames. Then we'll be talking about SUI, of course, and we'll go through some altcoin opportunities that you guys might be looking at. Please go ahead and share them, and we'll take a look at a few of them, and yeah, we'll wrap up the stream. So it should be a fun stream, should be an informative stream, and should be one of the more important streams of this for the next few months at the very least, in my opinion. Okay, so we over here are looking at the weekly time frame, and while this weekly wasn't the best weekly close, it wasn't the worst weekly close either, right? It wasn't a fantastic weekly close, it wasn't an ugly weekly close. In my opinion, this was a good weekly close, because if you guys do remember, what did we talk about when pertaining to the weekly specifically? I said, honestly, if we close green, it's going to be great with a long wick like this, because as long as we're closing green, we're going to have a long shadow, right? And we talked about that specifically as to why that would be a really good close. It would have been fantastic if we closed above with a full body candle. Yes, I agree, but it wasn't necessary for the weekly chart. Now we'll come back to the bi-weekly in a bit. We're going to move to the bi-weekly in a bit, and I'm going to show you guys why. There's something that happen over there that you guys need to be careful about. But when pertaining to the weekly, I think this was a great close. Okay, good to great, somewhere in between there, right? If great is at your 10 marker, and good is at your 5 marker, I think we are at like a this. I'll give this weekly a 7.5 on 10. Okay, 7.5 on 10. Now, Kusha is likely going to be saying, Sean, but what about the weekly dynamic, right? I'll tell you guys a really, really cute story this morning. I go up to Kusha. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be doing a live stream today. She's like, yeah, did you look at the weekly close? I'm like, it doesn't matter. The weekly was fine. It doesn't matter. And she looks at me, right? She turns her body. She looks at me with this look of distraught on her face. And she says with so much love in her voice, it does matter, Shanu. And my and my heart just melted. Because she's like, how can you say the weekly doesn't matter? How can you say the close did not matter? Because I don't think Kusha's too happy with the close. But she did melt my heart. So I do want to talk about why I think this close doesn't matter. And I told you guys, I was never ever looking for the weekly to hold this weekly dynamic over here, especially since we lost it over here, right, on this candle close. Once we start oscillating around it, we know that, hey, this weekly trend is not being respected. And honestly, it wasn't respected over here too. If you guys do remember, back over here, we had to have that same cautious mindset on our leverage trades because we lost the weekly over here for a long period of time, right? And it wasn't enough though to kick me out of my spot positions. It wasn't enough. And if you go ahead and turn off the dynamic and turn on only the cloud over here, okay, you're going to see that at the time back then, if TradingView loads on me, there we go. Thank you, TradingView. Back then, we actually had red cloud resistance and we lost the weekly dynamic. So back then, there was more reason to be bearish on your spot positions than now. But even then, we held our spot positions because, well, the cyclical indicators that were more important to us were still bullish, right? So while we needed to have a cautious mindset and get ready for those bearish triggers to trigger, it wasn't enough to get bearish. And back then, we had the red cloud. Now, we have the green cloud, okay? And we have Raul's bananas. I mean, don't bet against the bananas, right? Green cloud, Raul's bananas, and more importantly, bi-weekly dynamic, which was supposed to be over here. There we go. Bi-weekly dynamic has been defended. Okay, so in my opinion, yes, we didn't get the best weekly close, but in my opinion, it's a 7.5 weekly close. So that's my reasoning for not getting bearish on this weekly. And again, it's very, very reminiscent to what happened over here, right? We closed underneath, we retested above the weekly dynamic. Over here too, we closed underneath, we retested above the weekly dynamic. And now I think we're just going to kind of drift up, or rather, I'm hoping for that to happen based on our higher time frame indicators. All clear, guys? Kush says we need bullish Sean on the other end, making sure we maintain our diamond hands. Yeah, you guys need me to slap the bullish back into you. For now, until I flip bearish too. But for now, I'm still bullish. I'm still bullish. Hey, how's it going, Mark? By the way, all, please give Mark mangoes for adding Mexi coins onto the dashboard for us. We'll be talking about that soon too. Mark, you missed the announcement, man. All right, cool. So now going on over to the bi-weekly. In my opinion, guys, you just need to be watching. So we were very fortunate this week. Very, very fortunate because we got a weekly close, along with a bi-weekly close, along with a 4-day time frame close, right? So we have a lot of new information that we can go by, right? We don't have to wait to make a decision. Now, this, in my opinion, is the most important chart, right? This and the 4-day time frame, okay? Because this is what we're watching for our spot positions, and the 4 days what you're watching for our leverage positions, right? It's been the same boring thing for freaking months and months now. We've just been using the same techniques, and you know what? Boring makes money, guys. Boring makes money. It can be fancy, or you can make money. One of the two. Pick one of the two. So what would have been a great weekly candle close or bi-weekly candle close for the bi-weekly dynamic? Well, of course, closing above it, right? Closing above it, let's say around 59,000-ish, right? Somewhere around there. We were looking for the bi-weekly to close above. It did not close above it, but it held the band regardless, right? We closed slightly underneath the bi-weekly dynamic, but we held the entire zone. So how do we play it? Well, this doesn't give you any actionable information at all in regards to whether you want to go from bullish to bearish or from bearish to bullish, right? If you were bullish, right, or you're holding on to your spot positions with a tilt on your bullish mindset, nothing changes. You gotta just wait another 2 weeks. Okay, you gotta wait another 2 weeks to flip bearish, because right now the only action you need to make is flipping bearish, right? Because if things go up from here, you just continue to be bullish. Continue to be bullish, and you wait for the trigger for your leverage trades, right? So it's at that juncture right now. There's no act. You can't get more bullish, but you can't flip bearish either. You're at that juncture right now. On the other hand, if you're bearish, you're in the same position, right? If you guys have flipped into a bearish posturing where you're hedging your positions, this doesn't give you information to add more to your bearish positions either. At the same time, you can't flip bullish, right? Just because we closed above the bi-weekly dynamic, it's not enough reason to flip bullish if you guys flip bearish based on the 4-day dynamic, for example, or based on the weekly dynamic. If some of you flip bearish because of this isn't enough, in my opinion, to flip bullish, right? You can't say, hey, I'm going to flip bullish now, okay? So for those of you who have a bullish posturing like me, this isn't information enough to flip bearish. And for those of you who have a bearish posturing, like some of you who do have bearish posturing, which is completely fair, this is not enough information to flip back bullish, okay? So you guys gotta stay your hand. Whatever decision you made prior, you gotta stay with that decision, okay? That's what this bi-weekly candle close tells you. Now, on the low time frames, on the mid time frames, there is something over here that you can look to trade. This is very, very simple, okay? Close your eyes for the next 2 weeks, and you need to be ready for price to come back down here to 54,000, okay? We close underneath here. We could very well come test the $54,000 region over here at the bottom of the bi-weekly dynamic and still close the weekly above the bi-weekly dynamic, right? Or the bi-weekly above the bi-weekly dynamic. So we have 2 weeks for price to oscillate between 59,000 and 54,000. That's going to be a $5,000 range. Now, I'm saying this to you guys right now. Price could come all the way down to $54,000, and you will be forced to stay in your bullish position for the next 2 weeks until we close underneath, okay? I say this all the time to you guys, but when it comes to the actual price action moving down, a lot of you guys get shook, a lot of you guys get panicky, a lot of you guys think the world is coming to an end, okay? Psychologically, you guys need to just understand that your real price point is over here, okay? Over here, 54,000. Whatever price above and underneath doesn't matter, because you're not selling above, you're only selling, whatever price that is above the dynamic doesn't really matter, because you're only selling when we close underneath your level of invalidation, which at the moment is 54,000. And now that we closed underneath the top of the bi-weekly band, we could come all the way down to the bottom of the bi-weekly band and bounce, right? So we can look towards the daily. For example, you can mark out a zone between here and here. Let's go do that right now. You can do this, and you could do this, okay? And you can look towards the daily and just say, in fact, we close a daily candle already underneath it, right? Now you can say, okay, now that we flip this support into resistance, I think we'll come all the way back down to this level right over here at 53,928, 54,000-ish. And I can look for a bid here and look for price to move up if you're still bullish, and you should be bullish, right? If you have that posture. Similarly, if we break this level, you can look for price to come down lower, sweep these lows over here, and then claim this level back, provided the bi-weekly is still intact, right? Because we have 14 days for price to really wreck your emotions, So just be on guard for that. Any questions before I move on? Okay. Over here, we are looking at, going to remove our drawings now. We're looking at the 4-day dynamic and what we talked about in the previous stream. The 4-day dynamic over here was a really, really, really good spot for you guys to hedge your positions if you guys are looking to hedge, right? If you guys are saying, hey, you know what, I think there's a strong chance of this trend ending, right? And some of you guys did put on this trade, did put on this hedge, right? I'm like, this is a good spot. Because at the time we were right up against it. We had a full body candle at the $62,000 region. I sent out a message onto the seed chat, I believe, too, saying, guys, I would not buy over here. If you guys did not get into position yet, this is not the time to be getting into position. This is the time to be just staying your hand and watching. In fact, those of you who are looking to hedge your positions, this is a good time to be hedging your positions around 62,000, let's say 63,000, right? 62,600-ish, somewhere around there. And yeah, we rejected right at it. And again, my posturing is I only go long above the 4-day dynamic. I hold all my spot trades while we are above the bi-weekly dynamic, right? So right now we're oscillating between those two levels. I have no action to take. I think Wolvie is here, yeah. I wanted Wolvie to actually do to come on to the live with us and share his bearish analysis with the rest of you, so that way we have a healthy discussion and a healthy posturing in this community with both sides of the argument, right? Because I don't want you guys to think that, hey, just because Sean is bullish, everyone is bullish in Mango. That's not true. Krisha has her reservations. Wolvie has her reservations. I'm pretty sure Mock has his reservations. Wolvie is right here in the chat saying, yo, bearish, yeah. Bearish on the weekly, bearish on the 4-day. I don't disagree with those of you who are bearish. I mean, look at this, right? We have an M-like formation, rejection on this lower high over here. We could do this. We could very well do this, right? So we can talk about something in regards to that as well. We'll come back to that in a bit though. Yeah, and Bean Eater's analysis has read, like, I mean, there's more people who are bearish than bullish right now in Mango. Just because I'm staying bullish doesn't mean you guys should follow that analysis, right? I think there are more people who are bearish over here. And this is what I love about this community. Not everyone has the same opinion. Not everyone has the same analysis, right? Especially at these junctures of the market where the trend is threatened, right? It is what it is. Hey, Bean is here too. All right, speaking of the quarterly open, I do have something interesting for you guys over here. We are about to close a 4-month candle, okay, a 4-month candle, which is two 2-month candles. And I think there's something interesting going on over here. Okay, this is the 4-month chart. It's very, very, very simple. And what we can do is go ahead and place a horizontal on the 4-month candle close high right over there and try to get a bit more precise with it. Right, we are closing a 4-month candle in 19 days and 11 hours, right? So around, you could say we're going to have a bi-weekly candle and then one 4-day candle, somewhere around there. And we're going to close a 4-month too. And I find it really interesting that we could be holding that level leading into that 4-month candle close. So let's watch this. I would really like to see us hold that and take out the high too in the next 4-month candle. Maybe that's asking for too much. But if we can close into these candle wicks over here, right, somewhere into the $70,000 region, would be really, really good. If we close green essentially with some body, that's what I'm looking for. Closing green with some body, because that would essentially say that the structure is being held. And this could be looked at as a cup and handle, guys, right? We have the cup and consolidation zone right over here. Very, very clear. We did something like that over here too, right? So cup broke, retested, up. Cup just broke and went straight up. Cup getting some time, up. Right? That measured move of this formation would take us to 200,000. Why not? Why not? I'll take that. You guys happy with 200? Wolvie went from calling 900,000 this cycle to 25,000, just like that, and that's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. That's like so mango, right? You look for crazy high targets while the trend is in your favor. Look for in fact, you should go lower. Go 14K, man. Why not? Why not? I'm not just saying that sarcastically, because that's how you protect yourself against outsized moves. Yes, there will be a risk management module in Sprouts. All right. What am I looking at over here? Looking at the daily time frame. This is, I think, okay. So we drew out these levels in the previous stream, and I'm not going to go through them again. But we can look at the 1 hour time frame, for example. There's something we marked out over here. We said, hey, rising channel. This should break down for a healthy structure. We did break down. In fact, we came and tested the level we said that we test, which is essentially the second high low of the structure, and bounced right off it, cleared this horizontal over here, this was like all weekend price action though, right? And now we're coming to test it, right? One of this is like a CME gap or something around here. Or maybe it's upstairs. I don't follow any of that. But yeah, so a lot of there's going to be a lot of consolidation over here with people hedging, people unhedging, people chasing price, people who are on the sidelines, getting back into position. Guys, you need to understand that when you have price action like this, where you see a huge, I'm gonna teach you guys something in regards to this. When you see price action like this, right, and you see a wick deep down and closing green, and then if we do start drifting up and closing into this region, that's ultra bullish. That's more bullish than had this event not happened, okay? Because it's showing you an exchange of coins between people who are strongholders, who've become strongholders, and weak hands, right? So strong hands and weak hands. And what makes strong hands and what makes weak hands, right? People, I'm not talking about folk who just don't have conviction and newbies. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the Twitter version of weak hands and diamond hands. I consider people with strong hands are people who are buying into a zone or a level because they have decided that this is a good price and they are going to be holding until they are in profit, right? Whether that be 3x, 5x, okay? Versus weak hands, who are people who are already in deep profit and are willing to let go of their positions because they're in profit and they're like, you know what, it's time for me to de-risk. And I talked to you guys about this over here too, right? We got in around the $16,000, $17,000 region, along with some of my whale friends who also got into position over here. But they were very, very willing to let go of their position around $30,000 region because they got their huge bags at 17,000, or almost a 2x at this region, right? 2x. So they were willing to let go of their position. And I was very happy to see that redistribution between folk who are willing to let go of their position because they are feeling, hey, 2x is good enough for me, and folk who are chasing price over here because they missed out at 17,000, right? So those guys left, and then they had to endure price running away from them while they had to chase, right? So if they were willing to sell at 30,000, they would have been that much more willing to sell at 42,000. That much more willing, right? If price went up in a straight line. Because the way it works out is price moves here, right? Yeah, they're very excited. They're about to hit a 2x, put in a high low. They're like, oh shit. I'm not willing to give back my profits after sitting through this entire bear market. And then you see a move up here. They're like, I'm selling now. This is my second chance. I'm de-risking at least half my bag, 75% of my bag, blah, blah, blah. So they get out, they sell. Had price just gone up in a straight line, they would have been that much more willing to sell over here, and price could have come down deeper, who knows, right? So we see redistribution between weak holders who are in profit and strong holders who aren't going to be willing to sell because they're not in profit yet, right? People buy Bitcoin, they're like, fuck it, I'm going to sell at 2x or 3x. They keep it simple, right? So now we had the same thing happen over here. A lot of people probably sold, right? They're like, F it, I'm in profits throughout this entire range. I'm out. And then we have new people coming in saying, wow, $50,000 Bitcoin, I'm taking it, right? I'm taking it. I think we could 2x, 3x, 4x from here, right? So now we have at least some redistribution of strong holders and weak holders at a key level, because that's what the green price action is telling us, right? As long as there's consistent demand of folk wanting to buy versus the people who are looking to sell and take profits, price is going to move up. And how do we tell whether we have constant demand of, how do we tell that we have more demand than supply? Green candles. As long as we have green candles, we're putting in high lows and prices drifting up, we know that all of this unwind because of Japanese carry trade, blah, 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 is not enough to shake out the new demand that's coming in. Do you guys follow? So yeah, you're basically looking for consolidation around this level, high lows. What I want to see is this level hold, 54,000, right? And look at that, by the way, guys. This $54,000 region is lining up with our biweekly dynamic region too, right? Which is a bit low, I believe, somewhere around here. So we can go mark out this too. Right, so if we do come down low, and we very well could, I want to see that level get defended. Now, if this is anything like the COVID capitulation and then a bounce and then a higher low, we may actually front run this zone here. We may not see this zone get tested. So watch out for that too, for those of you who are looking to get into position and need to get into position because you lost position or you were sidelined for the longest time. I wouldn't get too gung-ho on this zone, but honestly, being a little bit patient may reward you right now. Considering that the bi-weekly close underneath, I think we could see this level get tested. So yeah, again, to summarize Bitcoin, Rahul says that we are apparently in the banana zone. Weekly dynamic has lost its trend. It is red. So those of you who are looking to hedge your positions around this zone because we've lost the trend, completely understandable. For those of you who are holding on to your spot positions because we're holding the high time frame trends on the bi-weekly and the monthly, that's also completely understandable. We are at that juncture where there is no right decision. You got to make a decision based on your rule set that you place for yourself ahead of time, right? You can't be having a new rule set at this juncture. 4-day dynamic is telling us flat out no leverage trades at all to the long side. Taking a short trade at this juncture was the trade, right? You do not go long at this juncture. Going short here was the right play. There's no long to be had when your dashboard is telling you short across. Well, it flipped long now 1 hour ago on the 12-hour time frame, but this was when we did the live stream. This was short across the board, right? So yeah, you play in the direction of your trend, and I still don't like this. I mean, regardless of the 12-hour being long, it's been the right play to err to the side of the 12-hour trend, yes, for this entire cycle, but we are seeing more red on this trend dashboard than green. Okay. Any questions on Bitcoin? Oh, wait, yeah, there was a question on Bitcoin, but do you guys want to do SUI first? Moody, actually, let's stick to Bitcoin for now, and then we'll go on to SUI and the rest of the altcoins. Any questions? Venus says, nah, man, I'm not bearish for following from behind. Okay. So he's just looking for a red quarter, but he's not bearish, is what Bean is saying. Mark says, yes, April quarter closed at 62.7K. I think you're looking at the low from the previous quarter, Christian. Okay. Awesome. JR says, monthly bearish divergence. Have fun trying to long. I mean, you don't got to be smug about it, man. Listen, guys. This Mango's not about this kind of attitude, all right? If you have a position or a view on the markets coming into the community here and trying to berate other people who do not agree with your decision and trying to be toxic is not what Mango's about. We are a family-friendly community. We're all looking to learn. We are going to be wrong. We're probably going to, and we are always loud and shouting when we are wrong. We're not ashamed to be wrong. We don't make being right a winning attribute in this community, right? We're not trying to be right. We're trying to make money. And to be able to make money in the long run, you got to be wrong a few times or majority of the time for your strategy, okay? Because the strategy is not based on every single trade being right. Your strategy is based on over a series of trades. The combination of your wins and the magnitude of your wins should have your account equity going up, right? And there's no FN1 that wins every single trade. So yeah, guys, try not to be toxic in this community. Frank says, not the time to long, Gerard, until further information. Well said, Sean. So many reasons to love my... Hey, thank you. Okay, so this is going to be the Q&A session for today. I only have one question. I forgot to ask you guys to ask questions, but Moody Marv did ask a question, so it's a good question. He says, question for you, Sean, for you and Sean Dexter. I think he's talking to Krishel there. He says, question for you and Sean Dexter. I know the 1 week is one indicator. I know we have the bi-weekly dynamic and green Ichimoku. We closed under the bi-weekly. Would you say the cycle is over for now, even though the Ichimoku remained green? Okay, so let me summarize this question. He's saying, if we close underneath the bi-weekly dynamic, is the cycle over if the Ichimoku remains green? And by the way, the bi-weekly should not be enough for you to say, just because of this indicator, the cycle is over, right? In fact, you should not say that at all, because you could get faked out on the bi-weekly, the monthly still hold, and you have to get back into position, okay? Remember, trend trading is about risk mitigating and staying on the right side of the trend, and you need to be okay getting faked out and getting back in. Once the bi-weekly is lost, you start hedging a significant portion of your positions. Once the monthly is lost, you start hedging even more, or you should be out completely. You hedge your entire stash, right? Whatever you had deemed needing hedging at the beginning of the cycle, right? So you say, okay, bi-weekly is lost, monthly is lost. We also lost the weekly. Any bounce is me shorting. So it should be 1, 2, 3 indicators that you look to get invalidated once you start hedging. Now, to answer your specific question in regards to the green Ichimoku, let's talk about that, because that's a really good question. I do want to spend some time on the cloud over here. We do have the green cloud, okay? And you guys need to understand that just because the cloud is green doesn't mean that you guys stay bullish. The cloud could stay green for the entire bear market, okay? Remember, just like how, let me hide everything here for a sec. Just like how price, we got bullish on price while the cloud was red, okay? Right over here at 16K, 17K, the cloud was red. I'll turn on only the cloud for you guys just to take a look at it. Okay. Trading view flipped all the templates, okay? Just the cloud, okay? You can see that the cloud was red at the time, because remember, the cloud is forward placed, right? The cloud is forward placed. So right here, you guys can see that the cloud is sitting 30 bars ahead of price. Similarly, when we were at 16K, we can take 30 bars forward and see that the cloud was red. So we had a red cloud. That doesn't mean that we stayed bearish just because the cloud was red. We would have stayed bearish for this entire cycle if we had waited for the cloud to flip green before we turned bullish. So to answer your question, no, the cloud staying green is not enough for you to stay bullish, okay? You need to use the other components of the Ichimoku to flip your bullish status. And I'm going to show you guys what to look at right now. One of the things that we were looking at last cycle, and Avi talked about this in the Discord, is the TK cross, right? Right over here, you guys can see that we had the bearish TK cross. And what were we looking for? We were looking for price to bounce off the bottom of the cloud and make its way to the top of the TK cross. That's the TK kiss that you inevitably see on most systems, Ichimoku systems, right? We got the TK kiss, but we're looking for price to clear above it, right? If we tested the TK cross and closed above it, that would have given the cycle a chance to do this. But what do? We rejected off it, and we had a full body candle, right? That should have been the first freaking indicator that, hey, things are really bad, but we still had hope. We still had hope for this. The nail in the sand, the nail in the coffin, the line in the sand and the nail in the coffin was this: the close underneath the cloud. That was it. That was it. That was all. At that point, we lost everything that mattered, right? Everything. So similarly, now you guys need to be looking for that as your nail in the coffin, which is essentially the bottom of the cloud, provided that Bitcoin actually does this, right? Or at the moment, because we're living above the red cloud, we're looking at the top of the red cloud, which is $42,000. If we lose $42,000, it's also going to likely line up with us losing the weekly 200 moving average, and we're going to be living underneath the weekly 200 moving average again. That's not a good sign. At that point, you want to be looking at Wolfie's thesis of much lower, right? So no, and the cloud can stay green. The entire time, the cloud will stay green, right? So no, do not use the green cloud to stay bullish. You're using the green cloud as a way to understand the overall trend to buy dips into your other indicators, right? So your bi-weekly dynamic, your monthly tennis may, etc., your weekly Kijun. Those are the things that you use to buy dips as long as your cloud is green. But you lose those indicators, you cannot stay stubbornly bearish. Okay, you cannot stay stubbornly bullish. You have to flip. Sean, if you unfavorite your templates and refavorite them, then it'll flip back to the old left to right order. It wasn't left to right order though, Julian. It was alphabetical. That's why I have them as A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So it's not going to work out with me. I'll have to I guess I could do them in order, right? And look at the amount of templates I have. Oh my God, that's going to take me forever. I just have to get used to looking at it backwards, I think. Just unfavorite everything. Oh man, why does TradingView have to do this? Why? What did they get out of this? Okay, any confusion on how we are playing this? They get more time spent on their platform. They're manipulating the metrics. We're gonna see a TradingView investor announcement soon. TradingView raises XYZ money from so-and-so private hedge fund due to new analytics showing that people are spending more time on TradingView. More clicks too. Yeah, for me, it's the bi-weekly dynamic and the tennis me. But again, I do want to tell you guys, and I want to emphasize this: if we get shook out of position on the bi-weekly, let's go back here, okay? If we get shook out on the bi-weekly, okay, and then we claim it back, I'm going to flip bullish again, right? So you need to be able to be okay with that. You are getting out of the way. Right, that's what you're doing. You're getting out of the way, but you also need to get back into the trade if the trade reactivates. There's no call over here saying that, hey, we are so sure that we're starting the bear market. No, we are going to be saying, no, this is looking ugly. We are invalidated. We got to exit. We are going to be looking to short every move into every lower high, right? But if we do this, you can't stay bearish while you're putting an uptrend on the bi-weekly, right? So I want to emphasize that, because let's go assess the monthly. I have the monthly here, right? I want to show you guys historically the monthly 10 SMA, right? We're holding it right now. Okay, we're holding it right now. But that doesn't mean once we lose it, we're going all the way down to 16K. We could very well do something like we did over here. We lost it. We had the whole COVID dump, and then we reclaimed it. If you just said that, hey, the cycle is over, you would have lost out on a move from $8,000 to $66,000, right? And I talked to you guys about how You need to be okay hedging your positions. You need to be okay saying, hey, I was wrong on being bearish, but I was right on being bearish, right? You were wrong. You were invalidating your idea to be bearish, but you were right to be bearish. There's a difference. You're right to be bearish because it was the correct thing to do to protect yourself. And yes, it's going to be painful to get back in at a higher price, but in the long run, doesn't matter because look at how much Bitcoin moved. Right? So yeah, I mean, it's really hard for me to be bearish over here. If we do lose the 10 SMA, the next obvious target is $47,000, by the way, which is the 21 EMA. We could oscillate between the two, just like by the way, if you guys do remember, when we lost the 10 SMA here, we looked for the same target. We're looking for the oscillation between the two. We got the oscillation between the two. We closed on either 21 EMA and boom, like it's so clockwork TA. We have so much edge on the monthly time frame, guys. The most difficult thing to do in regards to the monthly time frame is actually sitting in position, right, and just being patient. That's your edge. Okay, that's your edge over everyone else, every other community. They are not patient enough. They let their emotions whipsaw themselves out of position. So that's your edge. Market will pay you for being patient. Okay, SUI. This was so easy, right? What was our trade? What was our trigger? Like I said over here, back when I got a lot of hate for saying, hey, this trend is probably done. We were looking for a $2 target as long as the 2-day dynamic is holding, right? Was holding. So we're holding. Bull flagged against a key resistance zone over here. Had a power, like a poof. Like, you know, that impulsive move through a key level, high-low into the 2-day dynamic, kinda, but then again, consolidated around it. We set $2 target as long as the 2-day dynamic holds. Again, very, very mango-like methodology, right? I'll say Bitcoin, $200,000, $150,000, as long as biweekly dynamic holds, right? Pick your trend indicator, have your targets, but your targets should be only as long as your trend holds, right? Whatever that target may be, $1 million, $900,000. So Wolvie is a really good example. He's like $900,000 Bitcoin this cycle as long as my trend indicators hold. And now he's flipped bearish, right? He's not staying stubborn. You guys don't stay stubborn either. People stayed stubborn on SUI. They stayed stubborn on SUI. We lost the 2-day dynamic. They stayed bullish. And God forbid I say something bearish. This is why I don't do altcoin videos often, guys, because as soon as I flip bearish, I get hate, right? Lost the 2-day dynamic over here. Start trending so perfectly against it. Just stay bearish until, like over here, you say $2 target until the dynamic holds, right? Similarly, you look for as low as you can, figure out a bearish target and say XYZ target as long as the 2-day dynamic is resistance, and then you can get back into position, okay? Where did it come down to? 40 cents, 46 cents, pretty much the lows over here. So retrace the entire move. Imagine that. You could have got this entire move, which was 300%, gotten out at around 238%, right? Somewhere around here. And then bought back your entire bag. Holy shit. For pretty much the same price you entered. In fact, the same price you entered. We retested the breakout of the 2-day dynamic. This is such cheat codes, man. What the hell is this? By the way, new premium video will be coming out soon. Just heads up on that one. This is cheat codes. There's something I noticed about SUI that I'm going to be talking about in the premium video on the dashboard. For those of you who don't know, the dashboard has premium video section right over here at mangoresearch.co. But yeah, again, cleared the 2-day dynamic and on our way. And again, we did the same thing, an impulsive move through that key resistance zone. Impulsive move. So what are targets? What are the targets? In fact, this is a resistance zone right over here that you can look towards at around $1.05. But I think this is going back up to the breakdown point, $1.65. Okay, watch. Oh yeah, the reason I have this over here, by the way, is to say go watch this video because I did TA on it and all my zones, etc. I lost them because TradingView didn't save it. But anyways, go watch it. It's a quick video, like 6 minutes. But I do want to say something in regards to this. You guys see this break up point over here, right? We broke the trend, right? And we've come down and found support there. It's an inflection point, and only Mango talks about an inflection point analysis. Nobody else does that, right? In a year or two, you're going to start seeing people steal this idea from us. Remember where you learned it, okay? And vouch for Mango. Tell them all, this is a Mango theory, Mango a concept. This is the inflection point now, okay? This was the breakdown point. Over here, this was your breakup point. This was your breakdown point at $1.60. $1.60 is going to be the key zone. If we take out $1.60, I think we're going to go on to make new highs. $5, $10. Honestly, I think so we could get to $10 provided the bull market holds. So I'm looking to buy higher lows. Where will I be looking to buy the higher low? You guessed it, somewhere close to the 2-day dynamic. What does that mean? From that doesn't. So Muri Mao has a good question. Could you talk about the average length of the Ichimoku cloud cycle? You said about 600 days in the last stream. If this cycle is cut short, what does that mean for the cycle as a whole? It's in my opinion, it's irrelevant, right? Like if we lose our trend levels, I'm not going to be stubborn on, hey, the cycle has to last XYZ days, right? And by the way, when we measure the Ichimoku cloud, understand that the length of the cloud was us saying how long did the cloud stay green after it flipped. I do want to emphasize again that the cloud is not going to be, the color of the cloud is not going to be what you're using to stay bullish, okay? You can use it to say, hey, how long will the cloud stay bullish? And 600 days, right? We measured last cycle. If we measure 600 days, that would take us to somewhere around summer next year, right? But that doesn't mean that we are staying bullish till the cloud stays green, right? And if we break and the cloud turns red somewhere around here, right, that would mean that we stayed green for only 1 year, right? 350 days. So what does it mean for the cycle as a whole? Nothing. The trend is down. We hedge, we wait, we look for the next trades, period. If you get out at let's say 50K, 55K, and then price comes all the way down to 20,000, 30,000, think about the amount. Get excited for the bear trend. Don't get bear. If you have a long-term thesis on Bitcoin, okay? If you have a long-term thesis on Bitcoin where you're like, hey, by 2028, I think we could get to 300,000, 400,000, right? Whatever the targets may be. If you are able to trade the spread where you are getting out at 60,000, 50,000, and then rebuy at these prices, you're getting that much more Bitcoin, and your long-term targets are still intact. So get excited. You'll make more money. Don't worry. We'll be fine regardless, as long as we are playing the trend. You're going to be fine. You're going to be better off in the long run. Believe me. If we break down, you're going to be better off in the long run. Unless you needed your money in the next 6 months, right? So in that case, you wouldn't be able to buy because you need your money over here. So in that case, it sucks. So if you're looking to sell because you have something coming up over here, but if you have a long-term plan, you're going to be better off. All right, we'll do a few altcoins and then wrap up. SUI is one of the better looking trends on the dashboard too. Yeah, Wolfie said it well. All narratives and time analysis are just fun things to talk about. Price is the arbiter of all debate. Let's go look at XRP. Not bad, eh? 4-day long, 2-day long, daily short. Seems like it might be still in its consolidation. Did we just see Bitcoin bounce? What? I missed it. This is what I mean by I still think you guys can be patient. Look towards the 4. What the hell, man? It's a strong candle. Okay, let's talk about let's go back to Bitcoin. I want to tell you guys when you can start getting really bullish. We know the 4-day dynamic is going to be key, right? Here. So above 65,329, reclaiming this zone over here is going to be really, really important. This is a key level right now, 2A, by the way, guys. Do I have? Yeah, I have it marked out. You see this consolidation here. Like, if price was sitting like over here, right? How would you have been marking out your range? It would have been here, here, this low over here, and then you, where is it? They keep changing everything. See that? Lost it, retested it, consolidated, broke it. So that's a key level right there. See, as soon as we close right underneath it, the slight close underneath it, boom, right? And now we've reclaimed that level. So this is a key level, right? You guys see how it played out, right? Hey, how's it going, man? Good to see you, Bon. He's like, hey, guys, see you guys. So this is a key level. Do we hold it though? But now, by the way, now the range has changed. Like, you can't just stick to that range because we have a new range now. Now you should be placing your horizontal somewhere on the candle close or maybe even the wick low. But I'm going to keep my range here because I'm watching this level. XRP. Jesus Christ, this chart is messy. What's the chart with the most price action? Pull next. Oh, okay, there we go. I have this like massive thingy drawn, but we broke underneath it, broke back. This is, in my opinion, still consolidating. Like, it's squeezing hard though. Just gonna keep this here. You get bullish only above these guys here. You want to start seeing a candle close here, and then here, and then here, and then this is, yeah, this looks like this could blast, and this is going to make its way to $2 in no time. 345. I think Ted PM'd me about this. What do you say? I gotta read his PMs. No, he PM'd me with something else. I gotta read. Okay. All right. XRP. Yeah, I think this wants to break up, man. I feel like this is gonna explode so freaking hard. And you know, Bitcoiners are gonna be so salty. Like, maxis are gonna be so salty that this is running, and that's why I think this is gonna be the fundamental meme that runs. This is gonna be that play of the cycle. XRP now is just turned into the fundamental meme. It's gonna I don't have a position on this one, but I can tell you that this one's gonna run. Okay. What else? Let's look at long trends only. SUI is long, FTN is long, T is long, MX, ELF sounds familiar. What is? Oh. This coin sounds familiar. Not a big fan of these wicks though. Nah. Sounds familiar though. What else? SUI is long against Bitcoin too. Someone just mentioned Bitcoin dominance, right? And SUI should find some resistance because of Bitcoin dominance. The SUI is trending against Bitcoin dominance on the daily. Sorry, against Bitcoin on the daily, on the 12, on the 4. So, and neutral on the 2-day, 4-day, weekly. So this is a good sign, really good sign. Very few coins are looking good right now. Very few, like very few notable coins at the very least is what I mean. Curve. What? Let's go look at Curve. That's interesting. Did it just pump? Just pumped today. I don't like the shot, man, but it looks like it kind of wants to bottom. Holy shit, this has been bleeding against Bitcoin so bad. Damn. Holy crap. This is why you gotta be so careful on your altcoin positions, guys. Yeah, if this starts trending though, it's gonna trend like... It's a nice move, man. Let's keep an eye on this one, eh? So even if we get, let's say we get in like here, right? High, low. Or we wait for higher, higher, low. So a little higher, okay? Let's just wait a few weeks, like months. That's still a good 300% move. Yeah, let's go look at Bitcoin dominance, see what's going on with the altcoins. 57.11. Oof, seeing resistance at our zone right there. Finally. You still got to assume this wants to keep going up though. Until the trend is up, you just assume it wants to keep going up. Not that different from the ETHBTC. ETHBTC has been... People are still waiting for ETHBTC to bottom. Oh, almost got to our target there. Almost. This is bearish, man. It's just gonna keep doing this, you know. It's just gonna keep putting in lower highs. People are like, oh, this is it, lower high. Oh, this is it. I think this is gonna be such a great buy. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but if it does come, that'd be nice to buy pre-COVID level Ethereum prices. Aptos is looking good. Aptos, I actually picked up some at $4. Yeah. So I'm looking, by the way, guys, to trade the same premium video trade that we traded. By the way, did you guys keep an... For those of you who don't know, Aptos was one of our premium video trades that we took. I think we got around $6, somewhere around here, $6, and we traded all the way to the top of the range. Perfectly called this entire move, and even told the premium video subscribers to take profits at the zone. This is where you start taking profits, because if we do lose our 4-day dynamic level over here, because it's a very, very simple trade, you stay in the trade to the zone, just like how SUI was the 2-day dynamic, Aptos was the 4-day dynamic, right? You can see very, very simple. Close underneath it, close underneath the red zone, and then you're out of your trade, right? And where's my drawings? I had a drawing somewhere over here. Maybe it's on the daily. Let's see on the, yeah, I drew it right here for you guys. I talked about how you bull flag against a key region, and if you break back into the zone, and we're talking about this zone, we could come all the way down to the bottom of the zone, right? And we did do that. We did wick underneath the bottom of the zone, closed above. So that was the first sign. So I think this trade was, I'm not trying to say, oh, look at me, I called it so perfectly. This is an actual trade template, right? This is a technical analysis template where you break up out of the zone, you consolidate, but if you break back into the zone, you can look for it to come all the way down to the bottom of the zone, especially when it is a key trend like this that we lost, right? And I'm looking to play the same trend again if we can claim the 4-day dynamic back all the way to the top of the zone again. And then maybe we do a W-like formation, right? I'll guide you guys through this trade, provided it triggers. But if we see a better trade, setup that triggers, I'll start posting that setup instead on the premium dashboard. And just like how we guided you guys through that trade, I'll try to guide you guys through the next trade. But if we can do this, if we can look for a setup like this, that's my drawing. We're looking for a huge W on Aptos that could potentially take us to $85. Jesus, why not? TIA, let's go look at TIA. Not looking good. So let's go look at the chart. Based on this, not a big fan. Like, you can just see it, right? But let's go take a look. This has some hope. Hey, it did come down to, remember we talked about this. How we could come down right here. Who remembers this? I think, no, you guys should all remember this. I did a daily video on TI. I said that if we lose this zone over here, right, $6 or something like that, look for the lows to get tested. Literally tested the low and bounced up. Holy shit. Like literally to the T. And they say technical analysis does not work. So if you followed that video, you saved yourself on all this pain. You probably got 32% and got a chance to buy the low. Boom. Yeah, I know there's a lot of hate on ETH, but in my opinion, most of the innovation on the DeFi space is all happening on ETH. Maybe I'm wrong, and Sol has things going on for it that I'm just not aware of. But all of the cool liquidity protocols, the lending protocols, the stablecoin protocols are all on ETH, man. So while it's really tempting to be stupidly bearish on ETH, I think you can only be bearish up to a certain price point. Because as soon as it gets cheap enough, especially against Bitcoin, ETH becomes a value buy, in my opinion, because it does have, unless I'm wrong about things happening on Sol, all I can see right now is Sol is really fast, really efficient in trading memes. And great, there's the liquidity there, everyone's enjoying it. Ethereum has had, I think, like a 8-year head start now on building a proper foundation of liquidity that people just aren't appreciating right now, because there isn't enough hunger and appetite for taking risk on DeFi because rates are so high. If rates do come lower and lower and lower, all of these DeFi protocols and their lending protocols start becoming more and more appetizing. I think people are going to be surprised. Because when it comes down to actually putting on those kind of positions, you're going to be doing it on Ethereum, not... Holy shit, what? Oh, what is happening? Is this watch? Good luck longing, they said. Monthly divergence, they said. By the way, you can't make a monthly divergence without putting in a low. You got to confirm a lower high, and to do that you got to take out a low. So, but those of you who are on seed, you guys understand that. You won't be making the divergence mistake that most newbies make. That has costed, by the way, a lot of my friends. It's playing that misreading divergence has costed a particular friend of mine $500,000 to $1 million. Seriously. So I was saying, hey man, this is just that one module in seed that you did not get to, because he's actually in seed as well, and he did not finish the oscillator module. But yeah, it's too early to celebrate. We shouldn't make the same. We shouldn't be, yeah. The first step would be claiming high low here and claiming the 4-day dynamic. That's when we can start getting excited. But until then, it's just a lot of this is noise, guys. A lot of this is noise. But good signs to see. This kind of pickup, right? This kind of like volume action coming in after such a critical candle like this, right? Like what we did not want to see was this fill and then close underneath on the next bi-weekly. That would have been ugly. So we want to see the bulls build up as much buffer as possible. So it is exciting. Good to see 60,000, man. Just good to see 60,000. Like all coins just can't catch a break, eh? So if something's a short like this, you just don't trade it, right? So what are some other memes that we can look at? I would be so happy if you consolidate above 60. Okay, I thought you said underneath. That was something that doesn't sound like showing. Wow, what a candle! Holy shit, man! Damn! Holy mother! Risha, what does this remind you of? This candle? Do you remember 3K? Remember 3,000? Do you remember? This is gonna be insane. So let's see, okay? Let's go measure the dump. If you measure the dump from here to here, we can do. I'll show you guys a quick trick. I mean, this is kind of pointless. So 50%, right? The middle of the line over here is 50%. So you can just go do that, boom, and then you go from here to here, and then you mark out this too. Okay, cool. So you're looking for Bitcoin to break above this region here at around 64,000, which I kind of already told you guys, right? 64,000, 65,000. So like half, two halves. So a lot of work to do. God damn it. There we go. Makes sense. Well said, Sean. Sean's like, we are showing unwillingness to go down after the US Open. Yeah, this week's gonna be important. If we can like trade into this region here, right? It means that high lows are gonna get picked up at 61, 62. It's got to trade into this region here now. Nice. Good job, Frank. Frank, you're beginning to pick up things intuitively now. That's good. We do have like a... $82,000. Alrighty, guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Any final questions before I leave? Please go ahead and ask. But in the meantime, I'll give you guys a quick summary. The weekly time frame, as we discussed. We do not have the best close. We do not have the worst close. We had a good to great close, or 7.5110 in my opinion. Green can close is a huge victory considering that we have this huge shadow. Testing the top of the weekly dynamic and rejecting was completely expected. The more important thingy was holding the bi-weekly. We can go ahead and take a look at it right now. There's more of our drawings. The bi-weekly dynamic right over here is still holding. We did close in underneath it, so as long as we are still, until we close above the bi-weekly again, right, look for the bottom of the bi-weekly to probably get tested. Like, you need to be ready for it if it does and not get shook out. So 54,000 should be on the table for you. Okay, now from the looks of current price action, it does look like it wants to test a tad bit higher, but don't get caught into the lower time frames. I think you guys should just say, you know what, F it. I'm gonna go enjoy the next 2 weeks. I'm gonna keep an eye on the charts only every 4 days. You can watch to see if the 4-day dynamic gets reclaimed towards the upside. Until then, every retest of the zone is just an opportunity to hedge your positions if you do have that bearish posturing. For those of you who do have the bearish posturing, I don't have the bearish posturing. So for me, I'm looking for the 4-day dynamic to get clear to the upside so I can start looking and thinking about longs again. Until then, I am not thinking about longs either. So this is that kind of juncture where it's like, wait and see if you're bearish, wait and see if you still have your bullish spot positions. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, like Sean and Krisha said, smash the like if you guys did enjoy this stream. I did not have the energy to do the stream today, but I did want to come in here today anyways. I do the stream to make sure that you guys have your head on straight, because this is a critical juncture where you could be confused. So for those of you who were confused, I hope this stream helped, right? Because yeah, I totally understand if you're confused, because it's not an easy juncture to make decisions. Until the next one, do the mango way, do the easy way, do the stress-free way. I love you guys all. See you guys in the next one.